For the past few months, Jason has been working hard towards his private pilot certificate. What would make the CG change along the lateral axis of the airplane? What are the VFR weather minimums for the airspace that are along the way?
Runway incursions. There's just so much going on.
At what altitude does the FAA recommend that you use supplemental oxygen?
10,000 during the day and 5,000 at night.
What is it called when the body doesn't have enough oxygen?
Hypoxia. Oxygen, nitrogen, and then trace other gases. Haze and fog make objects appear further away than they actually are.
The higher the air density,
The lower the density altitude.
the lower density altitude. Yes, that's correct. And he just reached his first big milestone, which is the FAA written exam.
All right, guys, we are here at the airport. I'm about to go take my written for my private pilot, and I passed, which is awesome. Got an 88, which is about how I was doing on the practice exam, so very, very telling.
And to talk about what it was like and how he got ready for the big day, Jason is right here with us in the studio today. So stick around and find out what it really takes to pass the knowledge test. So Jason, first off, congratulations on passing.
Thank you.
How did it feel walking out of the testing center?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Excited?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get hands-on now.
I know, right? How did it feel going in?
Not bad, honestly.
Yeah. Well, you've done tests before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew what to expect and where I was going. I've tested there before, and so I kind of knew what I was going into.
Yep.
Not terribly nervous, a little bit, but not anything that's going to impact my ability to take the test or do well, I don't think. So we will talk to you guys when we're done.
So let's back up a little bit. Talk to us about kind of the process that you followed to get into the study process to get into the written.
So I obviously took the entire course. I took, I think, 8 practice exams over 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay.
And all of them were in the 80s, but I wanted to try to improve from the initial one was, I think, an 82. At the end, I was averaging 88, 89, which is right where I scored. I got an 88 on the exam.
Nice.
So very telling. Got an 88, which is about how I was doing on the practice exam. So very, very telling. Yeah, then I just got to the point where I was like, okay, I know what I know. I'm going to go get it done,
Yeah. Did you use the flashcards?
I did not use the flashcards, no. I actually made my own flashcards.
Yeah.
Because writing stuff down for me helps me more than not. I think that helped prepare me, but the test was a little wonky.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. When did you start taking the practice exams?
After I had completed all of the sections in the course.
Yep. You would do an exam, and then what would you do after that?
Oh, I would look at the questions that I missed. I would watch the video explanations and then go rewatch that section if I missed a couple with the, I didn't know I needed a plotter initially.
Okay.
And so the first practice exam, I was like, how the hell do you measure this? And how do you, actually get this in a finite, precise, I opened up the video explanation and the first thing you were like, so you're going to use your plotter here. And I was like, oh, I don't have a plotter. So I bought a plotter and yeah, that helped a lot. Yeah, then I would revisit the section if I missed more than 2 questions on the same topic and rewatch it.
Yeah, and that's key. We see the majority of people who come back and say, I failed the exam is because they've repeated practice exams without studying in between. And that's why I wanted to ask that.
And I didn't take practice exams any closer than 48 hours apart.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it because otherwise some people end up memorizing the database of questions, which is, even though it has 800, 900 questions, it's still possible to do, especially on the topics that you missed. So how did you know that you were ready for the test, other than getting the endorsement from us because we wouldn't give it to you otherwise?
I think that I was probably harder on myself than I needed to be. I think that I probably was ready for the test after the first 2 practice exams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just decided that averaging high 80s is good. And realized that I was kind of making stupid mistakes a lot of the time with the questions, like, oh, I should have read the whole thing.
Yeah.
I need to slow down. And I know that that's a limitation of mine going into tests, is that I tend to blow through them.
I'm the same way.
So,
I'm not a good test taker.
No.
And I tend to overthink the question or just read too quickly and know that I know the answer and then just get busted in something dumb.
Yep. So once I started getting the high 80s, I was like, okay, diminishing return. Yes, I could get a perfect score. Is it worth me spending another month on this? No, let's just get it done. Get it out of the way. So one thing off the plate. Hopefully we can get flying soon.
So we try to make it pretty easy to get the endorsement once you finish. Can
Yep.
you walk through the whole process beyond the endorsement with like IACRA and all these things? What did you have to do?
So I already had an IACRA account created, but I had to set up two-factor authentication, which was very easy. I actually did a screen recording because I know we have a bunch of questions on this, but it's literally just opening up whatever authenticator app you choose. Mine is Google. You click plus, scan the QR code. It adds two-factor authentication for PSI.
Yep.
And then scheduling the exam. I picked one that was close. Went through it, verified like 3 or 4 times that it was the correct exam, paid for it, and I scheduled it on Monday, took the exam on Friday morning.
And so spots were available rather quickly to do it rather quickly, which is good.
And I could have done it sooner, but that was the day that you were out, and I knew that we wouldn't have anything else scheduled, and so I intentionally chose to do it that day where I knew that it wouldn't be conflicting with anything else.
Yep. And that's through the PSI website. So if you have to study and to schedule, you can do it there. And there's a lot of testing centers all over the country, so it should be pretty easy to find one near you. I think from all the years we've been doing this, the most I've heard was somebody having to drive like 2 hours to get to a testing center. So they must live in the middle of...
I've seen a couple that were 3 or 4. We do have a survey at the end of our course. Some of our courses about that.
Oh, we should look at that. Yeah, that's a good point. So what did you do the night before the test? Cram?
No. No, I don't cram.
Good.
If I don't know it 24 hours before, I'm not going to know it 10 minutes before.
Yep.
So I take normally 24 to 36 hours before the test, I stop studying. I stop looking at it. Obviously, I work in aviation, so you can't completely cut it off, but I don't look at it. I don't study. The only thing I did was verify test time and then made a plan of like what I'm going to do in the morning. And that was it. I didn't study. I didn't look at practice tests. I didn't look at flashcards. I didn't look at quizzes. Nothing.
Good. I think that's a good strategy. It gets you to worry less. Like you said, if you don't know it by now, you're not going to know it at the end. How about the morning of the test? Quick review, quick refresh? No, just went in and did it.
Got up, went and got breakfast, went to the testing center, did a little vlog. You guys saw earlier, and I did it probably 4 times because I kept forgetting to turn the mics on and doing this again because the mic was pulled under my shirt and I want to make sure the audio is good. All right, same deal. Let's try this again. I definitely didn't turn the mic on. That's why I'm not a production guy.
Morning jitters before the test.
Yeah, that was honestly my biggest stressor, I think, was maybe recording that stuff and trying to make sure that I got what we wanted to. Yeah.
That's funny. So you won't have to worry about that on your side.
Yeah.
What did you bring to the testing center?
ID.
Yep.
Obviously. I did bring my passport just because I was like, if they want it, I got it.
Yep.
I left it in the car. I brought my plotter.
Yep.
CX3.
Yep.
And that was it.
Endorsement?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. You need the endorsement.
Obviously.
Did they ask you for your test appointment confirmation?
No.
Yeah. It's good to bring it so that they
asked me for my last name.
Yeah. And then they looked it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can take you through the whole thing.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So I went in, the testing center was full.
Wow.
There were, if I counted right, there were 42 spots in the testing center.
Where did you go?
Riddle.
They have 42 spots?
And
you have like 8 of them.
I know. So 42 spots, every single one they had somebody on the appointment for. And so I went in and my testing time was 9, I think. I was there at 8:45. I didn't get into the testing room until 9:30 because there were 2 people going and they were just continuously taking people in. It was packed, but they got through it pretty quick. I went up to the computer where the person was and handed them my documents, my ID, my endorsement. They took me into the testing center. Oh, they had me pop the back off of the CX3, take 2 batteries out, press the power button for 10 seconds to reset it.
Oh, wow.
Put the batteries back in, close it up, and then you could use that on your test.
Interesting.
And then they didn't look at my plotter at all. So they were just like, what do you have? Okay, cool. Went into the testing center, like the actual cubby. I had 2 pieces of scratch paper, 2 sharpened number 2 pencils, the testing supplement book, an expo marker, and then a clear sheet that you could put over top of the testing book to write on.
To do your plotting of of the stuff, which is they don't want you to write in the book.
Right.
Awesome. Did anything on the test surprise you? You mentioned a little bit earlier.
I took notes after we got out on one specific question, not the actual text. So surprising. Some of the figures were on screen. Some of them were in the testing book.
Yep.
Some of the figures on screen I could not find in the testing book.
But were they part of the testing book?
I don't know. At least one I couldn't find. It was a runway sign question, and it was not on that list of runway signs or on airport signs.
Interesting.
So it wasn't there. That was interesting. It was a little bit different than I expected because I practiced the entire thing with the testing book, anticipating that I would go in and everything would be in the testing book.
Yep. Which is what they tell you to expect, and which is what the procedure has been forever.
Yep. Some of the questions referenced the testing supplement. Others did not.
I wonder if they're testing new questions. Did you have 65 questions?
65.
I wonder if they're testing new figures that are not in the book.
Potentially.
As part of the 5. I bet you that's what it is.
Yeah. More that surprised me on the test. I only had one question that referenced a chart.
Okay.
One. So
Which is also very weird.
Very weird, right? Yeah. I was hoping actually to have more. And it wasn't related to any sort of airspaces. It was, if you're reading these 2 radials, where's the aircraft?
Oh, triangulation.
And so it was a
VR triangulation.
very simple triangulation question.
Yep.
So that kind of threw me off. I only had 2 weather questions that I could remember. So I was like, this is what I expected most of the exam would be.
Which is also weird because the matrix in the ACS tells you to expect X percentage of questions on each of the topics. And obviously that was not correct.
No.
Wow, that's weird.
No, not at all. No calculating weight and balance at all.
Wow.
There was 1 or 2 conceptual weight and balance questions where, if you move the CG aft, what's a potential hazard or something like that.
Yep.
And then 1 question about airspace.
And that's it.
That's it.
And then what? A lot of regulation?
A lot of, I probably had 3 or 4 questions on the different speeds on the airspeed indicator.
Yep.
I had a lot of questions on maintenance and logbooks and that kind of stuff.
ADM?
No.
Really?
Not many.
Wow.
And maybe I did, but they're not the ones that I remembered because I know ADM.
Yep.
So there was a funky one about the stall characteristics of a T-tail aircraft.
Yeah, we talked about that one.
We talked about that one.
Yep.
And then there was another one that I do remember because it was a classic FAA question worded really weird. And basically the gist was the proximate cause for a go-around is. And then it gave answer choices. And I was like, all of these are wrong because the go-around occurs whenever you want it to.
Yeah.
You just go around.
Yeah.
The answer choices were an inexperienced pilot, which seemed really wrong to me because you don't want people to think they shouldn't go around.
Yeah.
A stabilized approach, not an unstabilized. I read it 10 times.
Yeah.
Stabilized approach. I was like, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
And then the last was wind shear. And I was like, wind shear could be it, but
Yeah, it probably is wind shear. But yeah, it's those typical FA questions, like you said, where you need to pick the most correct answer.
Correct, yeah.
The least wrong answer.
Yeah, it was just a weird, kind of goofy question.
Yeah. I'm kind of interested in the fact that the percentages that they have in there. And of course, every test is randomized. So, you could be watching and getting most questions on charts, which we actually have got feedback from people saying that, I had 20 questions on charts.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I was hopeful for that because I was like, I know these charts. I can make those happen, Your
check right is going to be all the things that you know very well, not going to be asked, and they're going to get you on the stuff that they're going to ask you questions on stuff you don't like. What really helped you the most, you think, in getting ready for the exam?
I think that the ability to just go back and rewatch the videos and to know, taking the practice exam and then getting the video answers. Or the video explanations, and then being able to combine that with, here's a topic we talk about here. I'll go find it in the course. I'll rewatch 2 or 3 videos, spending 10 minutes on relearning or, updating yourself on a subject is really good.
Getting that deeper understanding.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I always tell people, you watch the first time, you're going to remember 30 to 50% of the content because there's just so much. And then you watch again, you get to 60%. If you get to 70%, I'm pretty happy. If you understand 70%, remember, catch, grasp 70% of what I talk about, then you're doing pretty good. The rest of it, you'll get over time. If you had to do it again, would you change anything to how you studied?
I would have done it sooner, but
yeah, you've had your training spread out for a variety of reasons. Because of these recordings, because we've slowed you down, and because of work, of course.
Obviously.
So yeah, that's.
I would have made more time for it sooner and tried to do it in more of a shorter time block, because I mean, I have gone through the course probably 3 times, but it's been over the last year and a half.
Yeah.
I wish I would have done it a little bit quicker, but it is what it is.
Do you have any advice you would give someone to get ready for their exam?
Watch the videos.
Yeah.
Watch the videos, take the practice exam, and then go back and rewatch. You know, if you spend 2 hours rewatching stuff, so be it. You know, your next practice exam should be a little bit better.
Yep.
And a little bit better.
I can't agree more on that. The watching, the studying between taking practice exam is key. I can tell you that if you don't do that, your chances of failing are much higher than they would be otherwise. So, yep. So now that the written is done, what's next?
Well, I think we're going to try to get a sim from TCS, right?
Yeah, we're going to be flying in the sim. So stay posted. This series continues with Jason, the flying new guy. We're gonna put him in the simulator from True Course Simulation, which is actually based in Prescott. They do a great job at creating a training program that gets you ready before you get in the aircraft. And as it turns out, they have a Diamond simulator that they've created over the years and made better. It's got virtual reality. It's got actually mixed reality, which is even better. We're going to have Jason recording himself going through that training before he gets in the actual aircraft. So, and of course, at one point, Jason is going to get to his check ride and where he's going to apply all the knowledge that he's learned so far. And this might be coming faster than you think, actually. But getting ready for the check ride is actually a pretty stressful thing, and it's definitely a lot of work. You're going to have to put all of this information you've learned into one big place in your brain and be able to pick from it. But that's also why we put together the free private pilot study sheet. It covers pretty much everything, the essentials that you need to know for your check ride in one easy to read guide. So if you're gearing up for your test, make sure that you grab a copy. It's completely free. There's no strings attached or anything. The link is in the description. So Jason, good luck with the sim training that's coming next. You know, we're going to be checking on you for your progress. I'll be popping out on some of the sim lessons as well to make sure everything is going well. Thank you all for watching, for coming along on the ride. And like I said, this is not the end of it, just the beginning of the fun part. So we'll see you in the next one.